Take a few deep breaths, feet on the floor, just to ground and center yourself, because if you're anything like me, you're completely hyper at the moment. And just ground, just take a few deep breaths in and out so that we're ready for the ritual. There are some hail and welcomes and some hail and farewells. You can say them out loud. You can say them in your head. You don't have to say them at all. You can type them in the comments if you prefer. There is a little bit of spell work, very simple spell work in the middle, involving a candle and some paper and a pen and an apple. Up to you whether you want to follow along with the spell work. You can absolutely just visualize it or just watch what's going on. It is entirely up to you. Go with the flow. You can always watch the ritual will be available on Facebook afterwards and on our YouTube page. And we are very, very proud to say that next Saturday, this video will also be used on the Children of Artemis Witchfest sites as well as their Samhain ritual, which is why we're going to be terribly grown up and organised and professional. She says with her fingers crossed. So a big, huge thank you to Children of Artemis for actually asking us or inviting us to use the ritual. We're very, very chuffed. So if we're all ready, then I believe Sue is going to start. When we do the circle casting, kick your visualization into gear, see a circle surrounding us, above us, below us. When we bring in the elements, just picture an image that says that element to you in your head. So, Sue, whenever you're ready.
Many gathered in this place, a wealth of energy to protect, a union of friendship, love and grace, a home for realms to intersect. Mother Earth and Father Sky, come to us in this domain, cast this circle of transcendent light, purge this space of curse and bane. Within this sphere of divine protection, our energies spiral, grow and soar, to learn of love and our soul's perfection, to honour those who have come before.
Guardians of the West, Spirit, Water, we summon thee. In this time of reflection, we look to you the most. You are the element of love, of emotion. Like water, we can reflect on the memories of what has come before, in this year or in this life. You bring the flow of emotion, the balance of light and dark, joy and sorrow. But only through this balance can we find our harmony. So have us feel that which our hearts neglect, and remember that which our minds reject. Hail and welcome.
Hail
and welcome. Guardians of the North, Spirit of Earth, we summon thee. As the dark winter approaches, we look to you for guidance. You teach us all the beauty is stillness, the wisdom in silence, as the new year begins, a time of uncertainty. Help us to remain strong so we can look within ourselves, going deep to find the seed of potential that lies within all existence. We can nurture that seed to bring our own new growth for the coming year. Hail and welcome.
Hail
and welcome.
Guardians of the East, Spirit of Air, we summon thee. The veil between worlds has dropped. Realities shift between one another. The opportunity has come to connect to those we have lost. The element of air can bring clarity to our minds and intuition to our hearts, so we may see the truth within ourselves, break through the fog and uncertainty that binds us from other realms, and find the inspiration to bring light into our future. Hail and welcome.
Hail
and welcome. Guardians of the South, Spirit of Fire, we summon thee. The year has ended, we head into darkness, and within this darkness we must begin to slow and find peaceful stillness. But within us all burns our infinite fire, ready to consume us and transform us. We ask of you to cleanse our souls and purify our bodies, to find growth through this transition. Bring us the courage to burn in these flames so that we may be reborn from the ashes. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. God of the underworld, Hades, we invoke thee. Guide of the spirits, Lord of the dead, we ask thee to open the gates of the underworld. Release our ancestors for this day, ushering them to this realm so we may once again commune with those who have come before us. Hail and welcome.
Hail.
Hail and welcome.
Welcome.
Goddess of the underworld, Persephone, we invoke thee. Queen of the dead, goddess of spring, you make your descent into the underworld at this time. You have aided many souls to pass from this life and back again. Bring us our ancestors, steal them from the clutches of darkness, returning them to us. Hail and welcome.
Hail and welcome. Summon spirits of these once lost ancestors, loved ones, family, friends, doorways opened to be crossed. Excuse me, from somatic realms we shall ascend. We welcome thee into this place, this circle of trust, truth, and amity, ideas of reality to be erased. Enlighten our minds with transcendent clarity.
Samhain, also known as Halloween, or Hallows Eve, falls on October the 31st, a cross-quarter day between the autumn equinox and the winter solstice. It is the last of the three harvests when herbs and fruits are stored for the winter. It is a day that we remember our loved ones and honour our ancestors. It is around this time of year that the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest, and we are able to communicate with the spirits of loved ones. Hold a dumb supper, work some divination. Samhain is a time of personal reflection, to go into the darkness knowing that new life and new ideas will eventually emerge, a time of death and rebirth. Samhain is known as the season of the witch and is one of the most eagerly anticipated Sabbats of the year. Decorate your altars with apples, pumpkins, squashes, autumn flowers such as marigolds and chrysanthemums, and photos of your ancestors.
There was a comment requesting that we don't act too grown up. Don't worry, that will never happen. So if any of you have actually got your Apple, working with two webcams here, totally confusing, then it's time to Apple, universal symbol of wisdom. It has been used at this time of the year for centuries, and as we know, has evolved into such Samhain games as apple bobbing, which I remember doing at parties as a child.
Me too.
Possibly some drunk ones as an adult. Never advisable. And as we know, although in the past there were all sorts of apple games, including ones with fire, although again, not recommended. Don't play with fire, children.
Especially if you're drinking.
Especially if you're drinking, yeah. That's their disclaimer. The apple is said to house great knowledge and immortality within it. It was once said to peel an apple gave you the ability to foretell how long you would live. The longer the peel is unbroken, the longer you'll live. Although I guess that also depends on how big the apple is. If it's a crab apple, you're a bit stuffed, really, aren't you? See, we're not being grown up. We're not being grown up at all. It's also said that within the realm of the dead stands an apple tree, which bears fruit indefinitely. And to eat the fruit ourselves gives us psychic ability to commune with deceased. Hence, one of the reasons why apples became so popular at Samhain. Now you need to take your apple without burning your hairs on your arm or the candle. And you need to cut it widthways. So you need to be cutting it. You know this. So you need to cut it there we go. So you need to cut it in half because there's a pentagram inside it. This pentagram represents all of nature, physical, metaphysical, and divine. Holding your apple, I want you to sit and think about this time of the year. Samhain is known as the witch's new year. It's the end of the lively summer and the beginning of the tranquil winter. Think about the colours, the smells, the fruits, foliage, what nature's doing, and what memories these bring to the surface. Take a couple of minutes now. We will shut up for a couple of minutes, or as long as we possibly can, because 2 minutes is a long time, to reflect on the season gone and what's to come. You can put comments if you would like to share them, if you feel it's appropriate. But think about all of the things that you're thankful for, the things you're grateful for, the things perhaps that didn't go so well that you'd like to put changes to. Bring up some of the memories that this time of the year has for you while holding your apple or visualizing your apple, and draw on the energy that apple brings. If you want to pop something in the comments, do. See, I knew I wouldn't last 2 minutes.
It's pretty good.
I think this time of the year, probably for me, is childhood. Things change, don't they, as you grow up? Your priorities change, your focus changes. Although as a grown-up, our children are a bit older now, but trick-or-treating. But when I was a child, we didn't have Halloween. Halloween wasn't, we didn't have it in the UK at all. We didn't have it in the south of the UK at all. So really, for me, this time of the year was bonfires, autumn leaves, walking to school in the freezing cold. But I think it's making new memories as well, isn't it? I think if you're on a different pathway now than I was then, it puts a different perspective on things. But I think also you do a circle as well, because my dad's always been a nature lover. So as children, we were always taken out into the woods for walks and out in nature to find animals and insects and all sorts of things. And I think you kind of lose that sometimes with the busyness of life. We've got some comments here. Let's see if we can get these up here. Nettie, autumn is my favourite season. The pentagram and the apple reminds me that magic is all around us in nature. Absolutely perfect, Nettie. That sums it up in one sentence, pretty much. Someone's feeling very sad, and I don't know why. I think that's memories, isn't it? Because memories do evoke not necessarily happy memories, do they? And I think, Samhain is a time to remember our ancestors, isn't it? The loved ones that have passed as well. So, Jackie, the same. I never celebrated this time of year as a child in the UK. It was always about November the 5th. Yeah, me too, Jackie. It was always bonfire night. There wasn't really any Halloween.
I was the odd one out.
Yeah, you did, didn't you? So I think for us in England, perhaps the south of England, it was E.T., the film E.T. When that came out, I think Halloween and trick-or-treating took a hold in England, and it came across. But you did celebrate as a child.
Yeah, always. My entire family is Irish, both sides, all the way back. And so it's always been, Samhain is an Irish tradition. It's the end of summer. And so all of the games that we grew up playing, apple bobbing, filling an apple with money, putting it up in your doorway, and you have to have your hands behind your back and try and get the money out of the apple with your teeth. We used to have pies baked with money in, and if you got a slice of the pie with the money in, you would have good luck all year. There was so many different family traditions that we had around Samhain. It was beautiful, and we still play them now. We've got the grandkids coming around at the weekend for all of the festivities this year.
Excellent. This one hasn't got a name. I'm sorry about that. Beauty and Change, the colours and riches of descending into the dark time. Beautifully poetic. Absolutely brilliant. And Maria's the same. We didn't have Halloween either, just firework night. It was firework was the bigger one, wasn't it? And Lisa, so much to be grateful for, including joining this wonderful community this year. Oh, bless you.
Oh,
Big hugs here to you. Yeah, Jackie says the same. Yeah. It reminds me of my mum and the baked apples. Oh, I love baked apples. I've baked them for ages. And the bonfire parties, yeah. I tell you what's better than baked apples, apple dumplings. Not that, again, I'm thinking about food and I've just pressed the button and everything's all just shut up in the air. Here we go. Loon did Mischievous Night.
Oh, yes, that's a northern tradition, isn't it, I think? There's a film about that as well, Mischievous Night. It's very, very similar to, it's a kind of mixture of Samhain and November the 5th.
Okay. It sounds nasty.
Mischievousness.
Green, I instantly thought of releasing all the stress and bringing in baked goods and sharing with the family. See, food again. Oh, blackberry cobbler, yum. With my husband and children, creating those traditions makes me happy and smart. Yeah, I think it is about bringing in new traditions as well, isn't it? Yep, here's one. Bonfires, kicking up the leaves, toffee apples, family gatherings. I never got on with toffee apples. They were always so difficult to eat. Sue says life gets in the way. It does. It does. Here we are. Family always celebrated Halloween. I live in the North Manchester. Maybe it was just more down in the south where it wasn't celebrated. Yep, there's another one. Luckily, I grew up in Scotland and Halloween's always been big fun here. It must
have very similar to the Irish.
Must have been us Southerners. Cara, the apple to me represents the fullness of life. It's sweet and full, but ultimately the symbol that things are only as sweet as they. Oh, excellent, because they're temporary. Yes, that's very true. That is very true. Okay, we've got Casper the Ghost here. Always reminds me of Casper the Ghost, as I always went as him for Halloween. Now that's an easy outfit. Walking around the affluent neighbourhoods to see how they dress up their lawns and houses. Playing in the leaves and how they change here in Nova Scotia. Beautiful. Fantastic. See, it is lots of childhood memories here. Another Scotland one. Leslie, celebrated here in Scotland. It was such fun. No expensive costumes. We all used our imagination. Wish I could go back then. Yep. Missing your grandparents. Well, now is the time to honour them, Leslie. Definitely that time of the year to honour them. And Sarah is creating new seasonal traditions with your daughter. Perfect. Perfect. Oh, Cara says it's called, I'm going to pronounce this badly, guising or geezing in Scotland. The origins of trick-or-treating. Yeah, it was Scotland and Ireland that the origins came from, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the poor used to go around the doors singing or doing a trick, and they would be given soul cakes in exchange that they could take back to their family and feed their family with. And that was the origins of trick-or-treating.
I think we've got a recipe for souling cakes on the blog.
Yeah, there's a couple there, I think.
On the blog. We always celebrated Halloween in the Midlands, 1980s. We too did apple bombing. 1980s, I was too occupied with rah-rah skirts and leg warmers. So I still am, let's face it. But I'm sorry, I keep pressing the button and all these comments keep disappearing. It keeps shooting up the screen. I shouldn't be allowed to work with technology. And the technology, I think as technology broke the barriers, we started to adopt more of the Halloween traditions. I think it was learning about it too, wasn't it? So we were talking about it and we pinpointed it, that it was the E.T. film. We always went trick-or-treating in our villages in Scotland, decorated the house and had apple bobbing. Brilliant. My mum always used to ensure we had a Swede lantern. Now there's dedication because they are tough. As I've got older, I realised my mum followed a lot of pagan ways and traditions. It's folklore, isn't it? It is. A lot of it comes from folklore.
Yep.
Oh, chiming in from Maui with a friend by my side who's from England. Just mentioned the 5th. Yeah, we are all connected around the world. No Halloween here when I was a kid either. We were supposed to flower graves on November 1st. Interesting. Jackie has apple crumble. Yeah, apple crumble.
My favourite.
Yum.
Oh, apple fritters. Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice. And Nettie. I don't know much about my ancestors apart from my grandparents and great aunts and uncles. It's a start. I'm Irish. They were all devout Catholic and wouldn't at all approve of my path. I'm always a bit unsure about honouring the ancestors for this reason. I think you'll find that, as you say, Samhain or Halloween as it is, or All Hallows Eve, or whatever name you want to call it, came from your ancestors. If they're Irish, it all came from them. It's all about folklore. I think honouring is really just about remembering, isn't it? It's about keeping those memories as well and passing them on to newer generations.
Yes.
Halloween has always been my favourite time of the year for as long as I can remember. Colours of the leaves, yeah, they're all starting to change down here now. Mitch reminds me of my nan who used to make apple strudel. Lovely. Rachel, same. I think my nan was a pagan but didn't reveal it to me. I think the pagan is perhaps a more modern word. I think probably an awful lot of our grandparents and great-grandparents they followed folklore. They followed the old ways. They followed the herbal remedies and all of the folk magic. They probably didn't even think about the word pagan, but they all followed those traditions. Recently broke up with my husband. And autumn reminds me that change is sometimes necessary. Darkness always precedes the light. Yeah, absolutely. We have to walk that line between the two. You can't have all light, you can't have all dark. You need to have that kind of balance. The original trick-or-treating was, skeezing was much more kind. Children did a trick for a treat. When I think of this time of year, I remember crossing the playing fields on the way home from school on an overcast day and seeing all the cobwebs glistening on the ground, like we're doing in the garden at the moment, where you have to do that to walk through the garden by all of the cobwebs at the moment. It's another one. Midlander didn't make a big thing of her. No, it's definitely south of the UK. Didn't have pumpkins. No, we didn't in the UK. It had to be turnips or Swedes. Yeah, they are tough too. Midlander there. It is a more modern tradition in some parts of England. I got the pronunciation right. That's good. Oh, yeah, this is it. Bring back rah-rah skirts. Yeah, I'm with you, Cara. I have got a couple of rah-rah skirts and I still wear leg warmers, so there. Popcorn balls were big here for trick-or-treating when I was a kid in the 80s, but now they don't do it anymore because too many fears of candy contamination, so they buy pre-packaged. Yeah. It's a money spinner a lot of the time, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
Never liked Halloween, considering it to be an American commercial import. Well, yeah, the origins were ours, but the whole trick-or-treat thing, as it is now, it's come across from America, hasn't it? Like to bring some more rituals into my life for this time of year and reflect on the meanings behind it. Yeah, even though you're not pagan. No, I think it is all about remembering those that have passed before you. It's about honouring ancestors, really. Carving the Turnip, or Tumshi. Oh, I like that name. Do one every year. You haven't done it right unless your hand hurts for days after. Yes, definitely. Yeah, and a Swede. Danger of carving Swede will be etched in my memories forever. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Jackie would love to learn more about folklore and folk magic in the UK. Okay, pretty much everything that we do as a kitchen witch has come from folklore or folk magic. And if you're more familiar in America with voodoo, an awful lot of that, although it has origins in America, a lot of that was also influenced by European folk magic. So
Yeah.
it is what we do on a daily basis. It is folk magic. Xenia, I love the folklore traditions. Doesn't have to do with a religion. No, absolutely not. It's often just folk customs. Absolutely. Happy memories of apple bobbing, bonfires, cold air. Love this time of year so much. Time to celebrate nature. Remember, I love. Yes, it is the season of the witch. Let's be honest. It is the season of the witch. Oh, sorry about that one, Anna. I always leave an empty space at my table for my ancestors, and always leave my dad's favourite Irish tipple out on Halloween Eve. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So brilliant. So that was fab. Thank you so much for all of your contributions there. We're now going to move to the next bit. So I'm going to move my apples out of the way. And if you have a candle, purple candle. Purple for me is psychic abilities. It's connecting with spirit. It's the other world. It's all that psychic energy, really, and connecting with the side. If you don't want to use a purple candle, you don't have to. You can use any color candle that you want. If you don't have a candle, you can use your good old visualization. So as an ending to the spell work, it's important that we recognize the changes in our lives. We did mention changes earlier, and utilize this upcoming new year as a time to let go of the past. Definitely. You've got to take all that no longer serves you and release it. And think about all that brings you happiness, and bring the happiness with you into the new Celtic year. Remove that which doesn't. Take a look within. Assess your own body and how you feel. Think about how the buzz of energetic summer has waned and the relaxing stillness of winter approaches. Try to connect with the earth to instill within your body the message of winter that nature has to offer.
Samhain is the time of year when the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest. Because of this, ourselves and spirit are able to pass through and connect with one another. We thought we'd use this opportunity to commune with our own ancestors, gain insight from spirit, or recall lost memories with loved ones. Now light your candle. Take a deep breath and relax. Allow yourself to recognize the energy around you. What do you feel? Make a mental note of any of your senses. What do you see?
Heather, my lovely, you've gone really, really quiet.
Am I sorry?
Oh, that's better.
What do you see? What do you hear, smell, taste, or touch? Anything, no matter how insignificant it may seem, could be a message from spirit. Any feeling at all. If it resonates with you, then listen to it. Use your paper and pen to jot down any words that come to you.
Heather, do you want to just repeat that from the top, just so that in case anyone missed it?
Yep. Samhain is the time of year when the veil between the worlds is at its thinnest. Because of this, ourselves and spirit are able to pass through and connect with one another. We thought we'd use this opportunity to commune with our own ancestors, Gain insight from spirit or recall lost memories from loved ones. Now light your candle. Take a deep breath and relax, and allow yourself to recognize the energy around you. What do you feel? Make a mental note of any of your senses. What do you see? What do you hear, smell, taste, touch? Anything, no matter how insignificant it may seem, could be a message from spirit. Any feeling at all. If it resonates with you, then listen to it. Use your paper and pen to jot down any words that come to you.
Obviously, if anyone wants to share anything that they got, we'd love to read your comments. And of course, if you want to do this and take a bit more time over it, do it afterwards, or do it next weekend, actually, on the 31st, or anytime, really. This is quite an easy spell to work to get any kind of messages at any time. Obviously, in this kind of setting, it might be a bit more difficult, but I got words: memories, smoke, and tears. You can see that. Probably not. There we go. Memories, smoke, and tears. I'm not sure what that means quite at the moment, but.
And I'm back.
And you're back. That was spirit. That was spirit kicking you out there.
Rain started. I could hear the heavy rain and wind, and then I just lost connection. Oh no.
With anything like that, write down the first things that come into your head. It might seem bizarre at the time. It might seem really silly, but write down anything that pops into your head, and then you can come back to it at a later date and try and decipher what the message is, because spirit doesn't always make sense at first, and they don't always talk in a way that we can understand. They might give images or smells or just the odd word, and it's then up to us to kind of decipher, what we get. What we've got. Green has Fruit Loops. That's us, Green. You've just described us. Complete Fruit Loops. But nice memory. Warmth, love, faith, heart flutters. Lovely, 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 lovely. Over the last few days, I've been smelling sweet pipe tobacco smoke in the house, and no one here smokes. I'm wondering if it might be my paternal grandfather. Yes. I think generally, isn't it? If you smell smoke and
Sorry.
smokes,
Sorry, there's thunder.
Izzy wants to join us.
Sorry,
yes,
there's thunder. She's
I
scared.
would say so.
Oh, there's my kizzy.
Ask the question. Ask if it is your grandfather, and ask them to give you a sign. Another smoke, sweet smoke. Dad, grip on upper arms. Perfect. Kelly had the sound of the sea and the wind in my ears. Fantastic. Leslie got told off. Buck up.
No, not after me cake.
Pay attention. Cara got sadness, grief, love, forgiveness, hope, courage. Lots of powerful messages in that one for you, Cara. Lots of powerful messages. Now, that's when I say write down whatever comes to you. It might be really random. Root beer, mice, and guitar. Hopefully, not a guitar-playing mouse drinking root beer.
Drinking root beer.
But yeah, hopefully it means something to you. But think about the symbolism of it as well. Don't just think literal. Think a little bit outside the box. Okay, so Green's explaining now. There's a story of Fruit Loops. I smell Fruit Loops at weird times. I always thought it was a message from Spirit. Ask, Green. Ask what the meaning of it is, and hopefully you'll get some clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Maria has stillness, calm, light in the moment, comfort and sweet. Nice. Blackcurrant jam. Happy. Excellent. As long as it means something to you. That's brilliant. Hello, Victoria. Always, forever, non-ending. I saw an old mill wheel and smelt burnt caramel. Interesting. That, I think, is quite a powerful message. You need to work with that one, Victoria, and see what it means for you. Xenia, all will turn out fine. It was a calming energy. Excellent. Mothballs, not the best smell in the world. My nanny used to always smell of mothballs to protect her clothes. I don't know if you can still get those. Yes, my nan used to as well. The flame of my candle is like the center of the universe. The flame radiate out from the Big Bang. Creation. Yeah, it's quite a deep one. Mitch, I got a song, Kathy's Clown. Not sure who sings it. We'll have to look it up. Who sung Kathy's Clown? The Everly Brothers, Mitch. I have a husband who's a musician. His head's like a library of songs. The Everly Brothers. There you go.
Oh, goodness sake.
Bless her.
Thunder. She's doing the thunder.
Anna got sorrow memories. Work with it for a bit, Anna, and then let it go. You do have to release it.
Yep, sit with it and then let it dissipate.
I keep calling my cat Sushi, Phoebe Lou, which is my cat who passed on, and wonder if she's visiting. Cats are very spiritual, aren't they? They are very spiritual. So
That's it.
lovely. Yeah, poor old Izzy. She doesn't like the thunder.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. Priorities. She needed a hug. Amanda's finger started tingling. Oh, Nettie's dog doesn't like thunder either.
No.
Mine's just barking at someone walking past the house. We are waiting, and I'm planning something for October 31st, so I have an idea what they mean. Excellent. It's always good when you know what they mean. Nettie is going to do the ritual next Saturday evening. Yeah, brilliant, Nettie. We did it early so that people could do it again at their leisure, and also because the 31st of October is my birthday. So there. My dad used to make homemade root beer and play guitar. Sister love, but there you go. Perfect answer. They're both letting you know that they're still around. I love you, safe time, the smell of coconut, chair and parsley. See, to us, these sound totally random, but hopefully they mean something to you. Rachel got calm, see, bread and run. Now, I thought that said rum, and I was going to say pirate. I think you need to work with it. Let it sit for a while and maybe even meditate and see what the words mean to you. It will have a meaning. Rice pudding. Oh, I'm all up for rice pudding, Jackie. It's one of my favourites. They are paternal grandmother always used to make. Yep. Do it. Go for it. Maria can't do. No. Sue's dog is very sweet. That's Izzy. Yeah, poor Izzy.
She's a baby.
Jane, use the energy of the autumn wind swirling the leaves to encourage and enthuse you. Also felt my dad. Perfect. Absolutely brilliant. You can do that spell. It's so easy to do when you've got a bit of time to yourself and you're on your own and you can really focus and concentrate. But if you did get any messages or words that don't make sense, come back to it. Sleep on it and come back to it. Melody's wedding ring fingers itching like mad. Ooh, she's happily singing. You never know, Melody. I think I'm right. Your wedding ring finger is connected to your heart, isn't it? That's why we wear the wedding ring on it. So it might be something to do with loving yourself, perhaps a bit of self-care, that kind of thing. It will all have meaning. So there we go. So you can do that one again at your leisure. If you have got something to eat and drink, do so now.
Oh, joy.
Yay!
Apple.
You are allowed to eat your apple.
Mm.
Oh,
That's nice.
It's the time of year for apples, isn't it? It's the best season for them.
Oh, you want some?
The idea of feasting and drinking is again honour. And if you're outside, when we do our outside rituals, we always put a bit of the drink and the food on the ground for to honour the spirits of land, really. But you can do it to honour deity, you can do it to honour whatever you're working with. But afterwards, perhaps put a little bit out in the garden. Maria, yes, you can eat it. Yeah, you can eat it. Don't waste it. We're kitchen witches. We don't waste things. Let's get rid of that.
We even eat apple slices when they're not meant to be eaten. Don't we, Rachel?
We had a kitchen witch ritual some years ago now, and I'd dried some apple slices, and they were very dry and very chewy, and I gave them all out to everyone in ritual, meaning them to take them home and put them on the altar. People started eating them. They were incredibly chewy, but everyone they were real soldiers and carried on.
We just carried on eating them.
Yeah. So eat and drink also helps you to ground a little bit, which you must remember to do after any energy working. It'll send you a bit loony. I did say our rituals were organised chaos, didn't I?
Mm. Even the live ones, we usually get a dog running through them. So Izzy was waking up for that.
Yeah. I don't think we've had a ritual yet without a dog come along. Oh, nice. Today I collected lots of foliage and berries from my local park to make into a wreath for my front door.
Oh, nice.
Do post pictures in the Kitchen Witch Facebook group when you're done. We'd love to see it. So while everyone's munching on their apples, we will close it all down. Whenever you are ready.
She wants some apple.
Hang on, when Izzy's been fed? See, organised chaos. We know what we're doing, really. So when you're ready, Bernie, we will close it all down.
Spirits of loved ones, all who are present, we have connected, conversed and shared. You have aided our hopes, wishes, intent. We have looked within, our souls are bared. From within this circle you may withdraw, but stay forever in our hearts and minds, as the beloved memory of what came before, and as the hallowed spirit both entwined.
Goddess Persephone, Queen of the Underworld, we thank you for your aid in this rite. Before your descent into the underworld, you have delivered us, those whom we hold most dear. Take care of them on their returning journey. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Hades, god of the underworld, lord of the dead, we thank you for your aid in this rite. You have allowed us to connect with our loved ones, giving us the gift only you can bestow upon us. May you stay forever the guide to those whom we have lost. Hail and farewell.
Hail
and farewell. Guardians of the South, Spirit of Fire, we thank you. You have helped us to purify our souls, to look within and start anew in this time of transformation. We should keep our inner embers glowing bright through this cold winter, so we may begin to burn again, reborn once more this coming spring. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell. Guardians of the East, Spirit of Air, we thank you. You have taught us to see clearly in this universe. We have connected with our ancestors as you have gifted us the clarity to view the world beyond this realm of physicality. Hail and farewell.
Hail and
farewell.
Guardians of the North, Spirit of Earth, we thank you. You have guided us on our journey inwards to find our own potential. Through stillness, silence and stillness, we have connected with the earth and discovered its beauty. May we greet this coming darkness with patience and tranquility. Hail and farewell.
Hail
and
and
farewell.
Farewell. Guardians of the West, Spirit of Water, we thank you. You have aided us in our reflections of ourselves. To look back on this year, remove all that which does not serve, and find the harmonious healing we so desire. May we now look to the future of happiness and love. Hail and farewell.
Hail and farewell.
Farewell. We have gathered in this place. This blessed ground is our retreat. We've learned of love in all its forms. Now the ritual is complete. Mother Earth and Father Sky, our words have now been spoken. May this circle now dissipate, uncast but never broken. So mote it be.
So
So
moved.
mote
Let it be.